maganda at masiglang araw po sa ating lahat. Tayo po ngayon ay nandirito po sa City of San Fernando Giant Lantern and Tourist Information Center para po sa pagdaraos ng ating kapihan sa bagong Pilipinas. Ito na po ang ikapitong yugto sa serye ng ating mga talakayan na ginagawa po natin linggo-linggo tuwing Martes alas 9 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga, kung saan natin pong binibisita, kinukumusta at kinakapanayam ang iba't ibang mga ahensya ng ating pamahalaan para sa kanilang pong mga programa, proyekto at serbisyo at sa mga hamon na kanilang pinagdadaanan sa pagbibigay po ng serbisyo sa ating publiko. This program is organized by the Presidential Communications Office through the Philippine Information Agency to enhance public understanding and engagement with the programs and projects of our government, of course anchored on the Bagong Pilipinas brand of governance and leadership of our President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The same kind of kapihan is being conducted as well in all regions of our country, and this time we're featuring the Department of Tourism. We're very glad we have here today as our resource person, the Regional Director of our DOT Region 3. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Regional Director Richard G. Dainos. Good morning, RD. How are you po?
Good morning, mabuhay, and we are so happy to be joining you in this endeavor.
Thank you for joining us, RD, and thank you for accommodating our request for you to be our resource person for today's kapihan. RD, how many years, kwento lang tayo ng konti, how many years have you been in the tourism sector?
Okay, this is my 10th year in the government service. I started as a city tourism officer of Angeles City and then eventually became a college president. Though when I was a college president, I also pushed for programs on tourism, no? And then of course, serving now the national government as a regional director. So all in all for government service, it's 10 years. And if I may add, sorry, I will have to complete my 2 years for the Department of Department of Tourism.
All right. Thank you, RD, for those information. So, in those years of your stint in the tourism sector, at least here in Central Luzon, we could say that you're already a seasoned tourism expert po here in our country. And I heard, RD, yung tourism sector natin dito sa Central Luzon has gained numerous strides already. Can you tell us more about those?
Yeah, we're just happy to note that we have already surpassed what is expected, no? Meaning we're back in the equilibrium and our figures will have to, of course, show about it as I will have to give a little presentation a little later.
I think we're catching up, RD, no? Kasi during the time of the pandemic, our tourism really slowed down a little.
Yes.
So we're catching up right now. Would you say that?
I guess the 2018 record has already reached, no, being, of course, our baseline data. So we are just so happy that it's getting more and more vibrant in terms of figures and, of course, in terms of activities.
We're glad to know, RD, you mentioned vibrant tourism sector, tourism industry in Central Luzon. All right, RD, siguro we'd like to hear more of details of your of what you have to say relevant to our tourism sector here in Central Luzon. Take it away, RD.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. And once again, I'd like to greet our friends from the media and the community for, of course, taking part in this sharing, no, of what we are doing here in the Department of Tourism. So just last year, we celebrated already our 50th year, the Department of Tourism. So that's actually a milestone, and looking at, of course, the celebration, the 50th, it gave us a very beautiful or significant milestone, because again and again we kept on telling that there's a revenge travel, and what would only tell about that is actually the figures. So I'd like to start off, of course, my sharing with you the mark that would say how else will you say that it's okay now in the tourism? So I'm referring to the tourism statistics. So if we could just proceed with the next slide, please. So of course, we recognize the importance of the tourism industry, no less than, of course, our president, who quipped or noted that the industry has been a reliable pillar. No? So it's a reliable pillar, meaning it is one source of our gems for the economy. No? So at the same time, it is also a way to promote our assets, that somehow that we take care of our assets, both cultural and natural assets. So it's not only contributing to the economy, it also gives livelihood to our very own people, no, within the locality. So the reopening of the economy proves, of course, that there will be an improvement, no, of our lives, because you see, to be stuck for two years, that would really be something. Next slide, please. So with that one, we at the Department of Tourism were so eager to really catch up, no, in terms of those that we have lost for the last 2 years. Okay, so can we move for the next slide? So I'd like to report that for the 2023 international tourist arrival, we have reached like about 5.4 million. So that is way beyond what we were expecting, and that is a national figure. Okay, so of course, we really have to strive on having a backbone on what do we have to do in order for us to bring the work into momentum. So we are guided by our 7-point agenda, as of course our secretary would always report. So they are as follows: the improvement of the tourism infrastructure, cohesive and comprehensive digitalization, enhancement of the overall tourism experience, the equalization of tourism products, diversification, of course, of our tourism portfolio, maximization of domestic and internal tourism, plus, of course, how do we strengthen our governance. So a little later, you will be hearing bits and pieces of how have we come about in the region in terms of targeting all these, no, one at a time. So we are also guided by the strategy of moving forward, looking into, of course, 3 pillars: the connectivity, convenience, and equality. So, of course, the tourism industry is really aiming that each region will have to be really connected, no? Not just in its infrastructure, more so in its program. That is why we have quite a number of programs, activities that would not only cater for region to region, but it's like having another tourism product which would cater to, of course, a convergence of both regional activities. When we also mean connectivity, we are also looking at not just infrastructure, but also technology. No? As you very well know, technology plays a vital role. So when one gets to visit a certain place, the first thing that you will have to get is, or grab, would have to be your I think, your cell phone. How is it in the place? You would like to really be informed. And there were some measures that were done. No? So sometime months ago, I think we were able to launch the tourism app, which would cater to anything that you would like to know about, of course, our destinations, together with, of course, our tourism enterprises. Alongside with that, we also have launched a few months ago as well our call center, which is 24/7, meaning if you have immediate concerns, anything within your your travel experience, we can ask, no, our or rely on that call center. So of course, convenience would make sure that there will be the network, no, the road network will be seamless. So of course, here in Central Luzon, that's not actually a problem, no, because of the presence of our expressways, and we are just so glad that our national government plays really a big factor, no, to connect one province to another, one region to another. Plus the equality experience, meaning we are to experience, we are all going to experience the distribution of tourism to not just well-known, no? More so with the less traveled places, so that it will have to be inclusive. At the same time, there will be an immersion or immersive type of experience where people will have to enjoy what the locality is all about. So that will have to be the strategy. As I have said, we are here in the region. We are so fortunate that we are so connected. No, in fact, we are serving 7 provinces and 2 free port zones in terms of our mandate. So we are serving Zambales, we are serving Aurora, we are serving Tarlac, Bataan, Pampanga. Have I missed one? Bulacan, together of course with the 2 free port zones, the Subic and of course Clark. And I'd like now to share with you our winning moments, if you may call it, no? But they are divided into 4, namely the Tourism Development Plan or Planning, Standards and Regulation, Industry Training, Market and Product Development. So I'd like to kick off with the Tourism Development Planning. No? So what have we done? How have we helped our local governments? But before that, I'd like to stress that in terms of tourist arrival, we are ranked 5, no, among the 16 regions. So there's still a long way for us to go, but again, we are not being left behind. No? So we are on the top 5. Let's look at the figures. Our baseline is 2018, where we had 4.4. This is for the region, 4.4 million, no, in 2018. For 2023, we have now 5.1. So as of July 2024, we have already reached 1.2, because what has been reported yet is the first quarter. So the second quarter is yet to be completed this July. So there's a period of submission, and of course, we divulge the data as we get to complete them. So we wait for the local government's submission of their tourism statistics. So you look at the difference during the pandemic, it went down to 1.3, and then in 2021, it went a little higher to 2.2 million, and slowly, because of the revenge travel, it went to 3.5, and last year, we have now a good figure of 5.1. So we really are very optimistic that this will have to give us more beautiful figures, good figures in the near future, as we strive to really drumbeat tourism as part of our way of life. Okay, next please. So our top foreign markets for 2023, they're the same markets. We have South Korea being the first, followed by China, USA, Australia, and Japan. For 2024, as of July, we still remain with the same markets. Nagkapalit lang po nung ibang figures, ang placement, I mean. So still we have South Korea, the United States, China, Japan, and Australia. So another thing that we are also very proud of is that we are now helping local government units to look at the beauty of tourism. And so this is a way for us to institutionalize sustainable tourism by introducing to them our tourism development workshops. So painstakingly, we come to visit, of course, our LGUs who are asking for requests, how will we help them, no, for their local tourism development plans. But of course, the mandate is that it is the LGU who will have to do it, but we're of course helping them, no. In the presence that there is already National Tourism Development Plan, and the LTDP is being taken care of with, of course, the assistance of the regional office. We are also answering the gap, which is the Regional Tourism Development Plan. So that's already in the pipeline. We have partnered with TIEZA, and we are going to look at the entire region, and we're going to develop plans for tourism. All plans. I am referring to site developments, preparation for emergencies, so forth and so on. So we are also giving some sort of training on capacity because we also would like to address sustainable tourism. No? Other destinations in the Philippines, which are well known, is already being faced with this big problem. No? So as early as now, we would like to stress this as an important or primordial concern. Next, please. So we are also embracing quality management systems as the office is ISO 9001:2015 certified. So our processes are within of course standards. Next. We are also we were endorsed by the Regional Development Council, as I have mentioned earlier, to address the gap between the LTDP, the Local Tourism Development Plan that is done by the LGUs, plus of course the NTDP. So this partnership brings us to the development of the RTDP. So we are so glad that it has been approved already seamlessly by the Regional Development Council. Okay, so we're also happy to inform you that we are now the chair for the Regional Ecotourism Committee and Setting. So this is being partnered by, of course, DNR. For the next 3 years, it will be our assignment to take the lead. And then I think this is also very significant, no? Because back when I was a tourism officer, we were able to push on looking into culture and the arts, a special component of tourism, because there's nothing that you are going to sell, if I may use the term, other than, of course, our heritage. So this is the first of its kind, no? I think, no? And this was done in 2014, no? So we were able to push it, and it was revived to another name, which is SICAT, no? This in 2018, but due to pandemic, it has actually been temporarily shelved. Now, we requested the RDC that this be included, and so it was already approved. So, special concerns on how do we maintain or more or less have that tourism sustainability in terms of our heritage, not only our natural heritage, more so our cultural heritage to be at hand. Okay, so that's our safeguarding. And earlier in my first few months in the department, we were also able to document, no, the heirloom recipes in Bulacan and Pampanga, which are, of course, known as a gastronomic provinces. So they're already published, And of course, this will have to be our gift to the next generation. It's a continuation of a program that has been um, um, institutionalized prior me coming in the office. But we would like it to be continued, and so the documentation was completed, and of course the publication. Okay, so we're also happy to note that during the first year of my term, we also were able to introduce Luminare, which is a report, an annual report of our not just achievements, our humble accomplishments, so that the community will have to know. No? So it's published, it's also a published material. So we also had a partnership with the city government of San Fernando. This time we are hoping to secure our permanent office. So and we are so glad that LGU San Fernando has responded to this clarion call, and we are looking forward that because of this endeavor, the more that we will be sustainable, no? Because we have now our office where we can stay without thinking that for the next few months we need to transfer again and again. Okay, so there's a use of RAC agreement on standard and regulations. Um, I'd like to note the following, no? So we pioneered, we from the region, and it's, I think, the only one that has pioneered the digitalized accreditation inspection, which is, I think, is also now being assumed to be followed by the other regions. Now, to ease, of course, the accreditation process, aside from the fact that we are now doing accreditation caravan, no? This means we're bringing closer to the people our mandate, our work, so that there will be more and more tourism enterprises that will really have to be accredited. So, and then we also would like to note that we also ranked 6 among those number of enterprises that were actually accredited. So we are still hoping that we're going to get a higher notch as time goes by. And because we recognize the fact that our tourism partners, enterprises, stakeholders play a vital role, no, in our mandate. So we are also giving recognition. You may see them, no? The ASEAN Tourism Awards, our airport, the Subic Bay, as well as the CDC. They have their own recognitions relative to tourism. Plus, of course, the most recent, another set of ASEAN Tourism Awards. So, because we play hand in hand with them, no, in terms of their deliverables, we are just so proud that we are part of this recognition as well. So, for the industry training, we are also very happy to report that we are among the top, otherwise now the first or one of the leaders in terms of training the Filipino brand of service excellence. The aim of this one is to have a national brand that we can offer to our tourists. So it's a product of a 10-year study that would highlight Filipino values as well as ways of welcoming our tourists. So our tourism enterprises, especially that we are preparing for the much-awaited MICECON, no? All our hotels, nearby hotels, which are supposed to be accredited together with other tourism enterprises, have undergone training. No? So we are not only talking about 50, we're talking about at least 70 or 80% of the total workforce of each tourism enterprise. So we also have a partnership with government especially that how we want to strengthen the program so that it will have to be sustainable. So there was a MOA signing with different agencies. The different government agencies have likened this Filipino brand of service excellence. So one of which is actually the Commission on Higher Education. And then we have expanded it as well with that of different agencies, even our Sangguniang Kabataan. No? So the FAD is getting bigger and bigger in terms of number. And on market and product development, we are glad that after a year after our transaction with our supplier, we're able to produce also a regional brand that is branched out of the national branding. So, but before that, of course, we are so mindful about the diversification of our tourism product portfolio. One of which now is, since we are known as a culinary destination, we developed a market to table source of how do you call it? Market to table type of typology of tourism offering for culinary. So it's not just experience how to do it, but of course looking into our public markets, how can we utilize them together with farms on the additional aspects of where we could bring our tourists. The pilot study was done by set of Italian students who came all the way, of course, from their country, and it was really a very successful program. So our diversification program would include, of course, culture, culinary, cruise, dive, education, film, golf, heritage, MICE, nature, surf, wellness. All of them, we have actually something to offer within the region. Okay, and then of course, we are also here to promote Central Luzon as a globally competitive, because that's our aim, no? That we become a tourism powerhouse of Asia. And so we would like, we are very visible in terms of our participation for international travel expos and fairs. So some of the countries where we have already promoted would include Germany, the Middle East, in Dubai, of course, Japan, Malaysia, South Korea, USA, United Kingdom, Thailand, Vietnam, and of course, the most recent activity we had was the UN tourism activity, which was done in Cebu. No? We were able to, Philippines was able to host the first international gastronomic conference and of course, meeting of secretaries and tourism officials. Okay, we also were able to reestablish our local travel fairs. In fact, it was here in the region where it all started. So we have what we call North Luzon Travel Expos, but of course, the long-running travel expo here in the region is the Northfield. So we are still supporting the same program, no? But they're happening in different time of the year. Next, we have the implementation of novelty programs, which would include Central Luzon Sustainable Tourism Summit. We have started this last year because we would like to address the problem the main problem of tourism, which is often neglected. No? So we are now addressing problems on sustainability and hoping that we will be able to reach that stage, which is regenerative tourism. And then we're also very happy that for 2 years now, we've been implementing the food talks. You know what? During the World Summit for Culinary held in Cebu, uh, there was one who reported that a trend now in tourism is actually gastronomy experience. So right before it happened in Cebu, we were doing it already. So we really had a good vision of how we're going to see it, and we've implemented it. And we're just so happy that we are now in line with, of course, the trend. And that we also have some sort of utilizing the youth for tourism programs, because they will be the next generation to take our place. We need to prepare them. No? So concerns like love for heritage, natural, both natural and cultural, are being fostered as part of trainings, as well as, of course, lecture and fora. So, do we still have one more slides? Okay, and the most recent one is, as I have informed everyone, the Philippines is in a bid for Asia's Best Emerging Culinary City Destination by the World Culinary Awards. So, through, of course, submission of our dossier, we were shortlisted, and of course the visibility of the city in terms of activities that concern gastronomy. No? So this will be a good brand for Philippines to highlight that our food is world class, our processes really need to take the center stage in the global map. So that will have to be our nomination, and we are again taking advantage and seeking your help, that we are inviting our fellow colleagues, Filipinos, especially those who are working in the tourism industry, to please help us generate more votes so that we can have this achieved. Okay, so with that, I think I would like to play this video. So that's the very short clip that will give us a highlight. But if you're going to visit our Facebook page, you will know how to help us gain votes. So we would gladly, how do you call this, recognize your help so that we can have that title, no, as an emerging city destination. Okay. And of course, we are formally also launching our regional brand, which is processed for a year or so. No? So it was not an easy way just to give it to the supplier. There were quite a number of workshops, interviews, and more branding activities that would warrant, of course, the best that is suited for Central Luzon. So the title is Where Endless Stories Begin. Should we, I don't know, it's in the last part. Now, how do we see ourselves in the future? Again, we're crafting strategic programs aimed at advancing foreign, of course, more foreign tourist arrivals that would target emerging markets. This is what we wish to accomplish in the next few years, more and more in terms of tourism statistics. And close coordination with LGUs in drafting their local tourism development plans, because when they are ready, our tourists would be happy, of course, to see their place. Readiness would see or would assume that there will be good tourism activities thereafter. Next, please. Institutionalization of programs catering to emerging and trending typology of tourism, just like what we have introduced a while ago, gastronomy and creative tourism, part of the Philippine experience, as well as, of course, the tourism experience. And then strengthening programs geared towards developing sustainable as well as regenerative tourism. The other is adapting innovations that are responsive to the evolving, changes in terms of developments when it comes to tourism standards, tourism statistics, tourism accreditation, which would, of course, respond to developments in technology like digitalization. And then formulation and adoption of strategy map that shall help lead our plans and programs to one direction, which is focused on social impact, customer and stakeholders, internal processes, financial stewardship, and of course, learning and growth for those working for the Department of Tourism. So lastly, we would like to share with you our brand, as it was preempted a while ago, but I'll have to end this one. No? We would like to highlight that it is in Central Luzon where you can build endless stories.
Hey, we're gonna tell you about Central Luzon, and you will see what's a phenomenon.
Kailangang maranasan mo ngayon. Simulan na ang kwentuhan sa Central Luzon. Walang hanggang salaysay mararanasan